another painting. Um, yeah, so we're gonna be painting again today. Let me put my phone on silent because yesterday it was ringing and doing all kinds of stuff. Um, so yes, I'm Dr. Celeste Payne, founder of Arts Empowered, and we are going to be painting our second painting of our Juneteenth collection. And so I'm going to show you that painting is here. I also want to see if I can show you before we get into the painting. There is a way for you to view the painting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my share screen so we can go ahead and look at the page. So if you go to my website, artsempowered.org, if you go here and then, whoops, yeah, if you fill this out, we'll send you information. But once you go here, let me make sure you can see this. I figured out how to make this work so you can hear me and see me. So I'm excited. All right. So this is just info. If you're in Jacksonville, I'll be at the Beach Boulevard Flea Market tomorrow from 11 to like 4:30. 4 classes. Come on and join us. But so if you're interested in these paint kits, here they are. They're here on the website. You just have to click here to go there. You get 25% off with the code Summer Fun. If you order now, it's more than enough time to get them by Juneteenth. I will probably ship them out Saturday. If you order tomorrow, I'll probably ship them out Saturday. If you order Sunday, they'll go out Monday. So you have plenty enough time to get these with standard shipping. The shipping is $5.99 flat shipping. So, we're not taxing you with the shipping rates. Okay. So let's pull that off. And then we're going to get into the painting. And this is what we're painting today. I said I would paint her today so that tomorrow I'll do the lady, the older version of this. Before we get into the painting, I do also want to let you know where we will be over the next couple of weeks. So for Juneteenth, we have several Juneteenth events. Palaca Juneteenth Festival on the 13th. June the 18th, we're at the Juneteenth kickoff at Moe's Southwest Grill, River City. June 19th, we are going to be at the flea market again from 11 until 4:30. And then on the 20th, we'll be at the Hilltop Community Celebration in Middleburg, Florida. So I invite you to join us. I'm going to pop my QR code up here so that you can know where to actually go get your kits. So let's jump into our painting today. There we go. So this is where you can get your art kits if you're interested. We're going to jump in and start painting our girl. So as I told you yesterday, let me do this. So when I edited the video for yesterday, I realized I was jumping in and out and showing too many things, which caused me to edit some more. So I'm going to, before we do that, I'm going to do let's turn her off. All right, I'm going to show my All About Juneteenth dictionary for kids. And this is available on my website also, or on Amazon. And so I'm really an advocate for Juneteenth. Probably next week, I'll share a little bit more about this book and why it's so important to me. I actually have these in stock here. I have like 50 more that are being shipped to me from the publisher so that I can have them for the Juneteenth events that I showed you. But this is a really good book. See, it's a whole dictionary for kids, adults love it. And I'll put a link in the chat to show you how to order yours. Why don't I do that right now before we jump in and start painting? I'm going to add it in the chat. I'm going to just put get your art kits. I'm going to just go ahead and get this out of the way. Hopefully you all have had an amazing day, because I did. That's where you get your art kits and then get your book. Hold on, make sure I have the right website for the book. It's about this time every day that one of the people who works in the building where I'm at comes by, and they are so loud. Let me make sure this link is correct. I should have done that before I got on here, but yeah. So let me get this specific book. That's not it. Hold on. We got it here. Where is it? Juneteenth. Okay, there we go. Hold on a second. Yeah, so I'll drop it in there a little later, but you can get it at, I'll drop this link, and then I try to give you the exact link to go straight to the website so that you don't have to search for it. But if you go to this website, books.by/Celeste Powers, I've used that website because they actually allow the authors to get more finances of their order compared to Amazon. But I love Amazon. All sales are good sales. Let me make sure that we are absolutely live on. Yep, we're live. I can see myself. All right. So we're going to get into our painting for today. And what we're going to do, let me get us on our right screen. All right, there we go. We're going to swap you up here. Whoops. There we go. This is how we're going to be for the rest of the time. So if you have comments, you want to say something, go ahead and just, it's really, if you log on, just say hey to me. And then please do share this with other people, because, you know, this is for my nonprofit and we are trying to do some good things in our community. So we're going to start off with our background again. We have the same colors that we had yesterday, so I just kept the same palette. And so what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do, if you can see in our reference image, it has some blue in the background of it. I think I'm going to actually do the white and some green, just so, because your kit will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors in it. It will have red, brown, green, black, this gold color, and red. Wait, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, I can't count. I'm a school teacher. I can't count. So I'm going to put some white on our background, and what the supplies I have are my paint brushes, of course, my paint. I do have a blow dryer here because sometimes I need to dry the paint in order to paint over it, because when you paint over wet paint, it just mixes and blends together. So I have a series of brushes. What I'm doing now is just really washing my canvas. So you get this canvas when you order, you get a canvas, you get your paint, you get a couple of paint brushes. And so what I'm doing is using a little bit of water and white paint to get enough color on here so that I can mix my green on the background, so I could show you how we do that. So, and I'm doing, like I say, I'm doing a little bit of water and the white paint. I almost went into that green because I'm going to be going in there in a second. So I always start with my background, and you see I'm in some of these cases I'm like touching over the girls' clothes, it's okay because the reason why I do that is to make sure it goes all the way to the edge if I wanted to. So I'm good with this white. I have a little towel on my lap that I'm using to wipe my brushes off. Um, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of green, and I'm going to just add a little bit over top of, hold on, you can't see that. Okay, there you go. I'll add a little of this over top of the white. Uh-oh. I'm on the live. What are you doing? Somebody's calling me. And so when y'all remember that lady? She was like, I'm on the live. Her husband walked over in front of the live with his, with no shirt on or something crazy like that. But so you see, I'm just using really almost a partially dry brush with just a little bit of green on it. And I'm using this to blend this green in just a little bit. And what I might do, and I think I am going to do, is go ahead. Let me just make sure. I need to make sure she is full center. Matter of fact, I need to put her here. So, yeah, she'll be right there. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of this gold color also, and just do a little bit of that in the background. If you notice, this is the one we did yesterday. She looks great. If you missed that, you should go back and watch it. And I also uploaded a time lapse of me doing that. So what I'm doing is just using the colors that I have to create a background. It's different than the background that's on the reference image, but what I wanted to do is make sure that your um, painting reflected the colors that you will have. And so what I'm going to do now is go in, oops, I missed some up here. Trying to blend it in a little bit. All right, and the next thing I'm going to do is just take a little bit of this red. Now, mind you, my brush is very dry. So I'm just going to add a couple of things of red in here just to, I'm not going to do black. I'm just going to do these colors just to fade that background in. So again, artsempower.org. You can get your kits. This is actually a paint kit that is for sale for you to paint. And these videos that I'm recording will be your tutorials once you get your kits and your supplies. All right, so the next thing I want to do is we're going from the back to the front. So the next closest thing is this hair, these Afro puffs. And you know, when I was little, I still have a lot of hair, y'all. I was messing with this hair today. But when I was little, I wore these Afro puffs. And I know a lot of women still wear them today. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking some black and I'm putting these puffs in. And as I paint her hair, I'm going to talk a little bit about Juneteenth. If you don't know, Juneteenth is celebrated on June 19th. And it's really an important part of American history because it really, solidified most of the slaves in the U.S. being free. So if you understand that June 19th, 1865 is when, in Galveston, Texas, it was actually announced to the slaves there that slavery was illegal in the state of Texas. And so, you got to do your research. But what I love about the Juneteenth story is that the people took that as a moment to actually memorialize it, to celebrate, and to really have a new chance at a different life. Now, some other things happened in Texas after that, but if you just got to do your research, you really got to get my book so you can understand that. But what we know is that in the 90s, some Congress people from Texas really were started fighting to get Juneteenth as a federal holiday. And I'm not going to pull that book up because I wanted to pull it up, but what happened is that they fought a long time to get it even in front of the U.S. government to get the holiday approved, and then later on it was approved, and people celebrate. They've been celebrating since Juneteenth. They call it Freedom Day in some places, but they've been celebrating for years. And so, like I said, next week I think I'll come on with my book, and then we'll just talk about the book, and I'll give you some more specific dates, names, pictures, so you can see some of the pages from the book. One of the things I love about the book is that the reviews on Amazon, people were like, I'm an adult and I learned a lot from that book. So I'm going in with this brush and I'm just making the outline of her afro, and then I'll just go in and paint it. I did want to say, I said this on yesterday and I'll say it again, that I do understand that these are not the official Juneteenth colors. The official Juneteenth colors are red, white, and blue. Actually, blue, red, and white. So it's like the same colors as the US flag, but it is it's a little bit like the red is a little more maroon, and let me get some more black. And the blue is, well, the blue is about the same, but the red to me seemed a little bit darker. And when I lived in Orange Park, there was a neighbor that during this time they had a huge Juneteenth flag up. So there's a flag for Juneteenth that's blue, red, and white. And I believe it has a star on it. I have to look at it to represent the US and Texas, because Texas is that Lone Star state, and where Juneteenth originated. And what you got to understand is that slaves weren't allowed to read. So if you wonder why it took them so long to figure it out, they weren't allowed to read. And in many places, it was illegal for them to even read. So it's not like they didn't do their due diligence. But sometimes you need the higher authorities to validate what needs to really happen for those that are being oppressed. And so, yeah. So we got our puff done. We're going to, if you see the image, you see that there's like a white line, white texture and red. That's really a signature of my style. I didn't really do it in this one, but that's a signature of my style, is adding the extra texture through color. So what was I trying to get? I think I have red. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this gold color. First, we're going to do her hat, and I think I will go ahead and box in those earrings. Then we'll do the green, and then we'll do her skin Why don't we? Yeah, then we'll do her skin and then we'll do the red. We'll do the red last. So let's go to the gold here. And I call this gold, it's like yellow gold. While we're doing this, I did want to let you all know that I do these type of parties virtually as well as in person. So if you're have a group that needs a relax and a reset, you can get with me and we can organize a online session. What would happen is I would let people order their kits, I would prepare them, ship them to them. We schedule a day where we get online and we paint together. What I just did was got some water to thin out this yellow to help it go across the canvas. Um, yeah, and we could actually do an online paint session. I've done it before. I've done it with organizations. I've done it with sororities. I've done it with, I did it once with the women's organization called the Links. We did actual Christmas ornaments. That was a really fun event. That was a couple years ago. I've done it with youth groups. I did it with a group of cotillion candidates. I've done it a couple of times with them. So it's pretty flexible. I do actually also do a self care art club group where we get on and we paint once a month. Our next meeting is June the 12th. And if you go on that website, artsempower.org, you can learn about the art club. Okay, this paint is getting a little thick for me here. Probably yesterday's paint. So I'm going to grab some more of this yellow and put it down. So this is one of the things that happens with these little bottles is sometimes they get clogged. So guess what? We just open it up, pour some out. If I had time, I would unclog this, but we're not going to do that now. We'll do that later off camera. So, and that really came from me probably not closing it properly. So I'm adding my color here. I really love the therapeutic qualities of actually painting and doing this kind of work. Yesterday, I added this little orange in, and I'm going to do it again because I think it added a little bit to the color. So I'm going to just put it here. So I can put this orange over top of the brown because the brown is dry and it will not mess with my color or change it too much. So what I'm going to do is just add just a little bit of this in here. And since the paint is still wet, it's going to blend right on the surface. So I'm just adding a little bit of this orange on here to make this a little more gold and not as much yellow. And when I'm mixing that and some yellow. I want more yellow than. All right. So just FYI, 45 minutes of artistic activities like painting lowers your cortisol, your stress levels in your body, relaxes you so you can think and make better decisions. One thing I love about art, it also to me has transferable problem solving skills. It kind of reduces your inhibitions and your ability to take risks because every paint stroke is a risk. And when I teach my students, sometimes they want to be perfect. And I was like, you know what? Just like Bob Ross said, we all have happy accidents. And what we learn how to do with painting is you could take something that pretty much you could take a mistake and make it a masterpiece. So you're not confined by your mistakes when you paint. All right, so let's jump into what color are we going to next? We are going, what did I say? We were doing green. Oh no, we were going to do this earring next. So I'm going to do this earring. Her earrings are a little big for me, for a little girl, but we're going to go with it. She was my daughter. She'd have some smaller earrings on. I guess that's why I didn't have girls. I had a boy. All right. So I have those earrings done. Let's jump over to the green. And so, as far as brushes, I told you all I bought these brushes from Amazon, and but I also buy a lot of my brushes from Michaels when I do my paint classes. I have a lot of brushes from Michaels that I use, but I like these. These are my specific brushes, my special brushes that I use to paint. So, and I follow the template loosely because sometimes when you're painting, you feel that you might need to do something else. And so this is an opportunity for you to, you know, do what you do. All right, so we're popping this green. And then remember I told you yesterday that sometimes with these colors, you have to go back over them after they dry. So I'm gonna do one coat of this green, then I'm coming back in with another. All right, so I said after we did the green, I was gonna go in and do the skin because I told you about this splotchy brown. You just have to do more than one coat. So here we go. So I'm going in around her face. I'm gonna try to leave her lips, the shape for her lips, so I don't have to I'll probably use a thinner brush for right around there. And like I said, this kit along with four others is available on at artsempower.org. This would be a great activity to do at your family reunion at uh-oh, that's my alarm telling me, girl, it's time to, I don't know what that alarm is for. What's today? Today's Wednesday. No, Thursday. I don't know what that alarm is for. All right. So I am going to get that close. I'm gonna rinse my brush off. Told you I got a towel right here on my lap so I can wipe my brushes off as I clean them. I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush around the lips and so that when I do the lips, I don't have to redo them. Um, I'm going to just paint this in, and then we'll use the reference image to help us figure that out. All right. So before I do the red, I'm going to go back in over this black because I see that it's kind of splotchy. So I'm going to, and then while I'm doing the red, the black can be drying. The Afro paintings, I have the other one that is an adult with the Afro. That one, we use a little more black in that one because we've got the Afro puffs. And so with these, we have a flat $5.99 shipping on the kit. Like I told you, it comes with the canvas, 2 paintbrushes, a thin brush and a thicker brush, a reference image and directions. And these can be ordered now, and you'll have them way before Juneteenth. All right, so we're going in with our red. We're doing good on time for this one. I love this red. What color is this? This, well, it's just red, but this is a brighter red than some of the reds that I've seen before. So I'm going to go over that line that's right here with the red. And then when we do the black outline, I'll add the black back in. So I told you that that the Juneteenth colors are blue, red, and white. Well, these colors are Pan-African colors. And when I did my Juneteenth book, I knew that. I knew that this was not the Juneteenth colors, but I knew that just from a marketing perspective, these colors are more vibrant and would be more inviting marketing wise. So no disrespect to Juneteenth, but as when you're marketing a book, you've got to look at what colors are going to reach your audience better. And if you got 25 books, how is mine going to stand out? So like I said, these are Pan-African colors, but they are widely used to celebrate Juneteenth. So we're doing good on this one. Okay, so we're popping this red in. Later tonight, I'm going to record myself getting ready for the flea market tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. I was on who was it? Beginning of May on a mentorship call, and that was given as I think that was it on the mentorship call? I don't remember what kind of call it was on, but I was on some type of call, and one of my mentors was suggesting that I go to the flea market. I'm going to go ahead and drop this little black button on the top of this cap, but then we're going to do our lip. And so we'll be at the Beach Boulevard Flea Market tomorrow from 11 to 4:30. So I'm going to use this fine brush to get these lips on here. And then I'm going to fix this. This is bothering me. And I think I'm just going to put her little curl down there. All right. So we are at the point where we're ready to go over some of these colors one more time. I just hit red, but I didn't want to do that one next. I'm going to go over green one more time, yellow one more time, and then we're going to start outlining and be done. Outlining and highlighting. So I'm going to add some more of this yellow orange. When I teach my class, my regular art classes, one of the projects is to create a color wheel. And basically you get red, blue, and yellow, and you have to expand those 3 colors to 12 colors. And one of the colors in there, if you do the 12 colors, one of them is yellow orange, and it's a mixture between yellow and orange. And it's about this color right here. Not quite yellow, not quite orange. All right. Okay, there we go. We've got our, only thing I didn't do was go over the earrings one more time. I will do that. And as you can see, I'm adding some of that bright yellow over this other yellow. I wish didn't. Now this camera that I have zooms in, but I'm too scared to do it because if I do it, I might lose you. So I need to practice that. I'm happy that I'm on here. You can see me, you can hear me, and I have 3 images up, 2 cameras going, and I'm excited that I'm even able to do that. So, all right. All right, so now we're going to do our outlines, and then once with the outlines, I need some more black. Going to do our outline, and then we're going to do our highlights, and we'll be done. So I think I'm going to use this brush. You see how small that is? I think I'm going to use this one. I think this was the one that was my friend yesterday. So I just noticed we got a little bit of hair there that I didn't. So I'm going to start over here with this ear. And as you can see, I have the reference image so I can actually see how this ear is formed. I still can actually see the image on the canvas. So I'm going to just get a little bit closer here so I can see it. I can see it a little bit. Ears can be a little tough. I did a lesson with my students that one of their last lessons was them actually learning how to draw each part of the face because we teach them baby skills when they're little, but as they get older, we need to teach them how to really up their skills as far as drawing faces. All right, so hopefully I'm doing this good enough. I think so. Outlining. We're almost done. Outlining her shirt. So if you like her, you can get her in our shop at artsempowered.org. And you can even check out this one up here that has the hand and the nails. I like this hat. To me, like symbolically, it can represent where we hold all our knowledge, and it's so important for us to know about history, not only Black history, but American history. Just believe history is very important because how do you know how to move forward if you don't know what happened in the past? Alrighty. So like I said, you can order your kits at www.artsempowered.org. Gonna outline around her lips. I'm gonna try and do this as thin as I possibly can. Okay, got those lips outlined. I'll make sure I outline. There's a little piece of brown that needs to be covered right there. Okay, so that's the outline. I didn't make the outline very thick. It's a little thicker in the painting, in the reference image, but I didn't want to make it too thick. So what we're going to do now is add our highlights and our, you know what, I forgot this other line over here. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start with our white highlights. Tell you, highlights kind of sometimes help make the day. So I'm going to start over here with the green. And the thing about this is making sure that it's fluid enough to just flow. So I'm going to add a little bit of water in it so that it doesn't skip, it just flows. And I can get a long, let's see, I can get a long line on my brush. So let's try this again. Alrighty, we're gonna add and pretty much right now I'm just following the image, the reference image, as far as how I do my line, because I think it looks good. I'm gonna keep that white. Thin enough to flow, but thick enough to be seen. We're gonna do the same right across this yellow. And you see I made a little skip, a couple little skips over there, just to give it a little more. Okay, I add a little. I'm gonna stay away from that black line right now because I just put that there and I don't want to disturb it and make it grayish. Okay. Guess we're gonna have to do a little something. You all know your color theory. There are 3 colors that you can't make. There's 3 colors that you can't make. If you're watching the replay or if you're live with me now, if you know those 3 colors, go ahead and put them in the chat. What 3 colors can you not make? Oh, this, I see some. Oh, I didn't do this outline right here. Then we're going to add a little highlight at the top. Oops. So what I did right there is I had too much water in there. So I'm going to use my paper towel and just take that up, go back in. Okay, we're adding that. Okay, so now we have, I'm going to fix these earrings in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and do the line highlights on the shirt. And I'm going to show you something else I'm going to do. I'm going to add some of that yellow in this shirt too, but I'm going to do that last. That's just my signature of how I like to paint. Okay. I'm going to add the shoulder into her shirt, which is not here, but we're going to add it. I may have covered it up, or it may not be on the template, but you can always add it in. So I just added her sleeve in there, and then I probably need to add something over here like that. Alrighty, so I'm pretty cool with that. What I told you I was going to do is we're gonna I let's do our earrings first, and then we'll go ahead and do our um, white highlights. So I'm taking just a little bit of brown, and it's so light, and I'm gonna add it on the edge of this earring on the inside. I'm just gonna put a little drop of water here just to highlight this to make it just look a little more gold. I'll put a little bit out here, and then I'm gonna outline this in black. And really what I could do is take a little bit of this yellow and brown and mix them together. And as you can see, this is trial and error. So I'm adding a little bit of orange in there. Too much orange. Let's go back with the yellow. And we're just blending them together. What time is it? It's 6 o'clock. We are doing good. We've been on here how long? 57 minutes. We're good. All right. I do have an appointment today, but I got plenty of time to get myself together to get there. All right, so I think I'm good with that. I'm going to go ahead and outline these earrings with the black with my fine liner brush, and I'm barely touching the canvas with this paintbrush. And so this kind of painting is pretty no experience necessary. You just learn how to, you learn as you go pretty much. These earrings. Okay, so now we're gonna add highlights to her lips. See, there's a little one up here. Highlights to her lips. We're going to add a little highlight to her ear right here. Trying to make sure I get all the little ones that are on here. All right, so we're gonna do her hair. I think I'm gonna get a different brush because that one. Okay, so I love doing this to hair because it kind of brings out the texture in a different kind of way. So I'm going to, let's see. I think this might be too big, but let's see. Nope, perfect. All I'm doing is using almost partial C-shape strokes. And I'm trying to go from the bottom to the top. Go on this side, and this side, they're going this way. Okay. And then I'm going to do some up here. And this is pretty much, you can do it as big or as little as you want. Okay, so now that we're here, I'm not really happy with these, but it's going to be okay. We're going to make it do what it do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my red. This is one of my signatures, and I'm going to add some highlights, some of these curls in red, and I think I'm going to come in and do some yellow ones. I'm not going to do green, but I'll do a couple of red. And then a couple of yellow. Okay, so we did the red, and I think that adds a little bit to it. Then we're gonna add the yellow. And then we're gonna be almost done here. So you see, I'm just picking some random spots. Just adds a little bit to that afro. And of course, you absolutely do not have to do this. But this is just something I like to do. Okay. And so I told you I was going to add a little yellow in some other spots too. I'm going to add it right here on this shirt. I'm just going to actually have it connect to the white line in some spots, not everywhere, but just. And I just added some there because I just feel like it. I think I'm going to do it up here on this hat. Just a little bit. Give it a little something, something, something. All right, so let me see. Am I done? I think I'm done for now. As you know, if you follow me, you know that I'm going to go back in and paint some more things, probably add some more to it later. But for right now, I am satisfied with this painting. So I said you can get your, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add, yeah, we'll do that. Add a couple of highlights over here. This is not in the reference image, but it's okay. I can do what I want. All right, so, and I think I'll do one right here where this curl is, just to emphasize that curl. I don't know if I like this all the way over here, so I might take this one out. So that's what I love about acrylic paint. If I don't like something, just cover it up. All right, so I think that we're done. This is painting number 2 in the Juneteenth collection from Arts Empowered. This is number 1. This is number 2. And I hope you enjoyed painting with me. I will see you. I don't know if I'm painting live tomorrow. I might paint live tomorrow. I might. We'll see. Uh-oh, somebody said something to me in the chat. Hey, Prophet Rashina, good to see you. All right. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.